happy Monday. We have a couple updates. One is getting a store. So I get the keys on Friday, and then we will see how quickly I can get open. I keep going back and forth on, like, I want the grand opening to be a surprise where I walk you through and show you, but at the same time, everyone has been such a part of getting me to this point that I almost want to bring you along for the journey, and show you behind the scenes and show you what I'm thinking and where I kind of want to be at on things and see what you think and really like have you guys all be a part of it. So, and of course, like if I bring you along, then I also can't, there's not going to be like a big reveal at the end. So I don't know. And I think as business owners, and I think anyone that has their own business will understand where I'm coming from when I say this. Like, I don't think anyone really knows what they're doing. We're just going along with it the best we can, and see what happens. So this has been a long, this has been a long time coming. I have been looking for years. So I'm gonna talk a little bit of contracts because I have found some really, really cool places that I had fallen in love with, and I was like, this is it, this is perfect. Like pretty much ready to sign the papers and move in. Was starting the hiring process, and then deeper looking, like when you really read a contract, you're like, oh my gosh, there's no way I can sign this. And as hard as it was to walk away from some of those, I know it was the right decision. It just I wasn't a fan of it at the time. It's so nerve-wracking. Like I have all these grand plans, and like in the back, like, and I'm so excited. But at the same time, I'm thinking like, no one's going to show up. No one's going to come for this grand opening. No one's going to come to my store. It's just the fear of the unknown is starting to take over. Like I fully stand behind and believe in my work and what I do. Are other people going to come? So, and I think anyone that's taking that leap from online sales to in person have those same feelings. Or I hope so. It's not just me. Could just be me. But I thought it would be funny. Now it's funny. Now that I signed a good lease, and I'm moving into a good location with a good landlord. Now looking back, it's funny. I'm back. And also, how cool if you followed along from a Goodwill find of my coffee pot. So you take the lid off and they make awesome glass pours. Okay, back to lease agreements. First one was, it was a really good space. I didn't know where I wanted to be at on rent. I had a ballpark in mind. I'm just casually looking. He's like, well, where do you want to be at on rent? So I gave out a number I was comfortable with, which was like, I knew was way lower than anything around there going for. And he's like, okay. I was like, seriously? He's like, yeah, sure, that's fine. He's like, at least to get started for the first year, let's see if it works. I'd really like to have you in here. So I was ecstatic. I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I got the contract, and then, so the one thing in there was you pay their attorney fees, regardless if you're suing or not. So say something happens and they don't hold up their end of the deal and it gets really bad and you need to go after them for any reason, you are liable for their attorney fees, which blew my mind because who's going to sue them, even if justified, if you have to pay their attorney fees? And mind you, this is not a small company. This is huge. And I'm like, I couldn't afford, it just prevents you from ever having any legal ground to stand on. Then you had to be open a set number of hours. And if you were not open during the hours that they want you to be open, then you have to pay them $60 per hour that you are not open. Now, I think I actually did this perfect. I asked them that. I was like, I'm not comfortable with that because who knows? Shit happens all the time. That, like something could come up, an employee may have to call it, like something could happen that I can't open that day. And they assured me, they're like, we've never actually enforced that. Don't worry about it. It's just legal jargon. It's like, okay, I get that it's just legal jargon, but that would, if I wouldn't, and they would want to uphold that for any reason, I would be liable. And like one day could be more than what I would pay that month in rent. So that was one thing that I really did not like in there. Then they had a thing that if for any reason they needed to move your location. So say they wanted to move you to a different spot that they own. They could do that. They had the right to, and you had 24 hours to move from the spot you were at to the spot that they then changed you to. Well, that's insane for one. I couldn't imagine moving an entire store in 24 hours. Like, that's just unbelievable. Another one was that you would pay a flat rate rent, but then there was commission-based rent on top of that. So by the 5th day of every month, you would have to turn in your sales to them, and then they would take 10% after a certain volume on top of the rent that you're already paying them. So, like, and I could understand one or the other. Like, I could understand the flat rate rent or commission-based rent, but not both. And if you didn't turn in your paperwork, like your sales within 5 days, you would then be charged additional money, and it was not cheap. You were responsible for anything with the building. So, say you have a roof leak or the AC goes bad, you are responsible for any structural stuff with the building. Like anything that happened within your space of that building, you were liable for. I was like, no, that's not my responsibility. I'm paying rent. You own the building. You're maintaining the building. I'm not climbing on the roof to know if the roof is structurally sound or if it has any leaks. I don't know those things. And maybe these are all normal part of contracts, but they scared me off so bad. And I was like, I'm not doing this. And then I never wanted to be pressured into a contract. Anytime anyone tries to press you into a contract, it's an immediate no in my book. And I had the contract for 48 hours, was looking it over, was sending it over to my lawyers to look over. They called on a Saturday. 2 people kept calling me back to back to back. And I was like, okay, I need to see what's going on. So I answered. And she's like, I need you to sign the contract right now. The building just sold to somebody else. They're signing the papers Monday. And if you don't sign the papers right now, then the deal could be off. And I was like, okay, I'm not signing the papers right now. Like, I'm just not. And they still tried. Like, they kept pressuring that I needed to sign the papers. And if I don't sign them before Monday, then the deal could be off and the whole thing is null and void. And I was really disappointed because I loved this place so much. I really could see AB & Company doing well there. And I was just... emotions were starting to get the better of me because I really wanted it. But I knew at that point it was not right. No matter how hard it was to try to walk away, that it just wasn't right. And I called them back and I said, I will have to take my chances that if the deal is off on Monday, and I told her, I said, I'm going to have to walk away. Like, after they sign papers and the new ownership takes over, have them send me a different lease agreement because, you know, they might have a completely different one that isn't as insane as the one I had just read. So I'm thinking this could work out to my benefit. But I told her, I said, I will take my chances and have to. And she said to me, well, send me what you want on the lease agreement. And I was like, no, just send me over the new company's lease agreement because they have one, obviously. I said, I get the detail, like fine details wouldn't be in there or, you know, but the general side of the contract would be you'd have a lease agreement, a basic template. And she was real hesitant on that and didn't want to send it. And she said to just send her over the list. And at that point, I told her there's more that needs corrected than I could even type out that needs changed than what's on there. And so I said, that's fine. I will just walk away. They kept pushing and saying, we've never, like I told her where my issues lied and where I wasn't comfortable signing. And the 2 people I've talked to were like, we've never enforced that. We've never had anyone do that. We work with you, da 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 da. Like, I get that. And you might. But say this new company takes over and they want to enforce what's in that contract that I signed. I'm not signing this. Like, that's the legal side of things. And fast forward to now, I was walking down the street and happened to see an empty building that was fitting exactly what I was looking for on a whim. And so I quickly tracked down who owned it and got their number and messaged them and was like, I want this. Is it for rent? There was no for rent sale. Like, nothing was up. It was just empty. And they said, well, the person just moved out. I have a couple people that called about it, but nothing serious. And I said, I'm serious. Can I come look at this right now? Like, right now. And so the deal then moved really quickly and everything lined up into place. And I'm so excited for the landlord I have. And just, it feels right. my gut feeling immediately was like, this is it. This is home. So yeah, I move in May 1st. It's going to take quite a while to get everything transitioned, because this isn't the only thing I have going on, shockingly. But I'm really excited to finally give this a home and not just out of my office. It quickly has taken over my office. So to have two separate spots for this is going to be wonderful. That's a little update of what's going on. Let me know if you want to see the behind the scenes as I progress through, or if you would like to be kept in the dark and then a big grand reveal at the end. So let me know what you want to see in the comments, and we will talk soon.